God, everybody. Welcome to the show. If you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to have to do this the way that we used to do it, which is there is music, and this is like the whole show. Normally, I just start recording when the show's going on. So we're going to rely on Good Samaritans in the bottom of this here video. It's going to tell you the time code which you should switch to if you just want the show. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of me setting some shit up, because otherwise, I can't do the show. I need to set things up to do the show. It's a very simple process. So here we go. I'm getting everything set up right now, and let me go ahead and plug in some music so we can have that as well. Although, shit, I think I might be one chord short for this. Yeah, fart noise. Oh, no, wait. Hold on. Yeah, that's it. Plop. Okay. So music for this show will be brought to you by Andrew Allen and his brand new Star Wars jazz album, which is currently funding the Kickstarter. We're going to play the shit out of that. So we're going to play the little 6-minute thing now, and then we'll play it throughout the show. All right. Let me get chat going. Yeah, like Neshcom's like, yo, bro, come on, it's automatic. I know, except for the fact that it's not. So someone's got to figure that out. I'm gonna get this live on the butt. Get it on the butt. Let's play music. All right. So that was that. I don't want to play any copyrighted music because now that I'm recording here, I'm not going to get a chance to not or to pull it down. You want to know what? We're just actually gonna fucking do it live. What about your aggressively gay breakdown of the ass man walk in? Oh fuck! All right, we're gonna have to. Yeah, I don't have a great way to pause it. Or do I? Fuck. All right. Yeah. No, we'll break down. I'm an ass man. Let me throw that on here. Yeah. Ass man breakdown. Okay. So we got shit here. We're live. We're talking. I kind of feel like I should have kind of a better look. Maybe here. Yeah, I got the Constitution here in my fucking over my shoulder. Like I'm motherfucking Alex Jones up in this bitch. I'm Alex Jones in this bitch. I'm Alex Jones in this bitch. How's my sound quality, by the way? Because it looks like I'm peaking here on this, but I don't know for sure. Let me know. Ah, fuck, I forgot this about Hangouts. It's fucking a billion years late. So everybody's watching this is like, you know, like, oh, I don't know. That was a billion years ago, everybody. Hey, oh. Fuck. God damn, I forgot how much I hate Hangouts compared to MetaCDN. This is like a minute and a half late. Sound good. All right. Well, you want to know what? That's just the way we are going to do it. Let me cue everything up. All right. This one is probably going to sound weird, peaking a bit. Okay, let me. I forgot how much I hate doing tech stuff when I'm on the road. Have not been on the road for a show in a while. Fart, fart, fart in your mom's mouth. Okay. You know what? We're just going to have to do it. We're just going to have to do it. Here we go. Let me put us live on the butt. Put us live on the butt. What? So I may or may not be live. This may or may not be the beginning of the show. Are we live on Alpha Geek? That's a question. That's not a thing. We're recording now. Oh, it says I'm live. Good. We're live. This is just going to be the beginning of the show, by the way. I'm sorry. Normally we begin with a very official way to do it. We're not going to do that right now because holy shit. All right. We're rocking and rolling here. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of the Justin Robert Young podcast is brought to you live on the road by 306 of the most rad ass motherfuckers on the planet. Creepy Wink.
On the day that we met on the internet, I asked her for a photograph. She sent it over to me, said, I know it's ugly. And I said, girl, ugly ain't the half, look at you. You got blue teeth and you only got 2 teeth, but I kinda like to see you smile. And it appears that over the years you turned into a big old steaming pile. And she said, yeah, I know I ain't no supermodel. I said, you ain't a hand model, baby, but that's fine. But you're pretty ugly by most people's standards, but you're all right by mine.
Mother of Christ on a cracker. It's Justin Robert Young here, bringing you the one and only show named after me. Justin Robert Young, the show. JuRY for short. I mean, we're all here. Let's get a little friendly. I'm going to take off my shoes. You put your pants on your head. I mean, that might not seem like a fair trade to you now, but just you wait till the end of the show. Guarantee you it's going to pay off. This here is the only podcast in which I give you a piece of my mind. I let you know what's on my dome piece. I shed it off to you in the most respectful and elegant manner I can. I'm on the road right now. I am talking to you in a lovely hotel room here in our nation's capital. That is our nation if you are here in the United States of America. It is Washington, D.C. It is where the president lays his head. And tonight, I will continue to advise everybody who has launched their presidential hopes. This time, it is a senator from my former home, Florida, Marco Rubio. He has thrown his hat into the ring, sombrero, if you are misinformed or racist. And he has some issues. You know, he's got some real problems he's got to get over. Don't you worry about it here, Marco. Don't you worry about a thing. I'm going to help you out right here. Justin Robert Rubles. I'm also going to talk to you about, for those of you watching here live, I got a little bit of a haircut, a little bit of a beard trim. I'm going to give you the reasoning there behind it. I'm also going to break down one of my favorite wrestling entrances of all time. I don't know if y'all picked this up, but I'm a huge wrestling fan. I love it. It's the best thing ever. I'm wearing my Hood Slam t-shirt here right now if you're watching live or on YouTube. But one of my favorites of all time is Billy Gunn's theme, I'm an Ass Man. But there's a lot in here. It's dense. You got to unpack it. No pun intended. So I'm going to help you. I'm going to give those of you who have heard the theme a million times a little bit of an inside sauce, maybe some stuff you've missed. And for those of you who've never heard it, believe you me, go ahead and wait till the end of the show. This is going to be a treat. Let me begin with two things. Here's the first. I want to give a big shout out to the following people: Father Robert Balliser, Jason Howell, Brian Burnett, Leo Laporte, Lisa Kensel, Mike Elgin, everybody at TWiT. They launched or announced rather that they are launching in May a rebooted version of the Screensavers. That was, of course, the gigantically popular show that really put Leo Laporte on the map on Tech TV, has provided for him, a tremendous platform to talk and launch the TWiT network. They are rebooting it. They're bringing it back. And a lot of people are really excited, including me. I think it's a really, really rad idea. Now, I know what a lot of y'all might be thinking, but wait a minute, Justin. Didn't y'all have a bit of a falling out with TWiT? Aren't you kind of persona non grata at TWiT? Isn't it kind of a mortal enemy for which that you are bigging up? No. Nay, says I. Listen, life's short. You really, you can't go around carrying blood feuds. Because at some point you got to think, whose blood feud is it? Like, are you going to be the guy who starts blood feuds? And aside from that, a ton of my friends are on that show. And by the way, credit to TWiT for recognizing the on-air talent of Father Robert Balliser and Jason Howell in particular. Those are extremely competent broadcasters. They are great. They are friends of mine, and I'm excited to see them get mainstream press the way that they have over the past 12 hours since they announced. So big shout out to them. Here we go. File that one under G for gracious. Here's my second point. Went to go see a little play called Book of Mormon on Friday. Man, I've had a whirlwind, baby. Since the last time I talked to y'all, flew down to LA, went to Disneyland, went to Star Wars Celebration. Then next thing you know, fly back up to San Francisco, I go to Book of Mormon, drive to Sacramento on Saturday morning, pick up a bird, come on back to San Francisco, and then fly my happy ass on a middle seat to Washington, D.C. Holy shit. Now, that's a red eye, by the way. Okay, I landed here in Washington, D.C. at 6 o'clock in the motherfucking morning. Now, a lot of you might be saying to yourself, Justin, you are a true American hero. It is your sacrifice and dedication that gives me strength when I wake up in the morning. And I say, hey, I didn't ask for this. If you want to take some life lessons out of the selfless way that I commit myself to my craft, then that's up to you. All I'm here is to share my experiences with you, those who take the time out of your day to listen to me bray like a wild jackass. So let's go ahead and get into this Book of Mormon shit. I ain't never seen the show before. It's a musical. If you're not aware, it's put on by Matt Stone, Trey Parker, Bobby Lopez. South Park and Avenue Q, probably being the most famous works that they had done prior to this. If you're not aware of the plot, it's about the Book of Mormon. If you're not familiar with the Book of Mormon, seriously, I don't know how many fucking questions I'm going to be able to ask you or answer for you here. It's about some missionaries that go out to Uganda, specifically 2 of them. One of them is kind of a chosen one. Pardon the religious context of that term. The other's a fuck up. So, long story short, in terms of my review on it, it's fucking amazing. It's great. It's really exceptional. I think I tweeted that it makes other message comedy, quote unquote, seem heartbreakingly lazy. And here's why. Here's what I wanted to talk about. If you go into the playbill, there's 2 things that immediately stand out to you. One more than the other. Probably the biggest thing is that you're flipping through and you find out that the actual Mormon church has advertised all throughout their playbill, which is really rad. There's something about that just really tickles me silly. Like, the Book of Mormon is such a gigantic touring production that the Mormon church puts in funny ads in it, including like, you've seen the play, now read the book. Another one says the book's always better. It's very funny. That tip to the old Mormon church. Those folks in Salt Lake ain't fuddy-duddies. But the other thing that stuck out to me was a little Q&A they got with Stone and Parker and Lopez, where they talk about how they came together. They talk about what went into them making the show and how they all got together for it and what it's about. So there's a Q&A, and it's either Stone or Parker. I'm pretty sure it might be Stone. When they're talking about what the point of the play is. Now, it's extraordinarily well plotted, and I don't want to spoil any element of it because there really are turns that even though I thought I knew a lot about it, I didn't know and didn't see coming. But he talks about points versus reasons. What's the point of the show? He is asked. There is no point that they want to make. Now, I think it's a little bit fuzzy because I do think they are making points, but his point about points is that you need to figure out your own point within it. They don't want to make it a big, glaring, gigantic, roadside sign about what they're trying to say. There's a couple ways you can take it. They want to give you that leeway so you can find what you believe to be the meaning of the play. Now, this is really rad for a couple reasons. Number one, it means that if what you are trying to say is controversial or offensive, there's always wiggle room to take what they want out of it. And by making it very clear that you are not trying to get something out of it, and you're not saying, well, really, it's about the war in Vietnam. Well, really, it's about how religion's a virus. Well, really, it's about how religion is the only salvation to a better planet. By not making it very clear, you can pick and choose little things, and I think people have a big fuller enjoyment because they're not asked to enjoy the show at the expense of their own beliefs. So there's that. So then they're asked, the very next question in this here playbill, what are the lines that you draw in the sand for offending people? And he says, well, everything that we do has a reason. Every time that we make a joke, there is a reason that it is there. And to kind of fill in, I think, what he was saying, it's to advance the plot. It's to fill in the story. It's to give you a better sense of the characters. So, if somebody says something that is horrifyingly sacrilegious, of which there is quite a few, the reason it's there is so you can understand where a certain character is coming from. You can then weave a tapestry for which a larger picture emerges. So the inclusion of these elements should not be taken as the only worth of the larger product. If there are many sacrilegious characters, for which there are, since it, after all, is a story about Mormon missionaries trying to convert the unconverted, it doesn't spell out the entire message of what they are trying to get across. Points versus reasons. If I were to take a guess, and listen, Matt Stone, Trey Parker, and Bobby Lopez are all far smarter and far more creative than I could ever hope to be. But if I could dare to get into their mind a little bit, I would say that what bothers them about other message comedy that is meant to either speak truth to power, and I'm making quotes when I say that, comedy that is supposed to give voice to the voiceless, that is supposed to destroy somebody who's taking advantage of others. What they find annoying about that is that the points are far too fine. It's very easy to see where they're coming from. And therefore, if your entire creative work is based on whether or not your point is strong, then either A, you are sacrificing the general creativity and storytelling of what you're doing because you can't help but shave things to make sure that your point is the thing that matters. And number two, if your argument isn't ironclad, then all the creative work that you've done will fall under attack. Points in and of themselves are kind of exhaust ports on your Death Star. You could build the most brilliant Death Star, and yet if somebody can invalidate your point, your entire shit's fucked. They also tend to be superfluous. Just tell the story, weave in elements of it. I think everybody involved in that play, Book of Mormon we're talking about, has a very specific and articulated opinion on the Mormon church and what it has done for not only America, but also the world, both good and bad. I think they're far more complex than I think the Mormon church is good or I think the Mormon church is bad. In fact, there is a great duality that they spell out very specifically about the Mormon people and the Mormon church. And I don't think it's spoiling much to say that they probably think a little bit more about the Mormon people than they think about the church itself. Although what I found by the end of it was, number one, me crying, which I don't do very often for stuff like that. I was weeping. Yes, me, your old pal, Justin Robert Young, with his long hair and unkempt beard, weeping like a child. But what I found was an exceptional story about religion, period, and America, period, and creativity, period. Now, not all three together, three separate elements and how they intersect. And that's what I took out of it. That's my point. I got there because of the reasons that they led from the characters down to their final conclusion. I don't know what anybody else took out of it, and I'd be curious to hear what you took out of it. If you write to me at justinrobertyoung@gmail.com, put JuRY in the subject line. But I thought it was great, and I think that everybody else is going to enjoy it too. We got all sorts of stuff coming up. However, during our breaks today, we are going to be playing some rough tracks. These have never been heard before. This is a exclusive to the JuRY show. Andrew Allen has a brand new Kickstarter. You can go ahead and find it if you search for Andrew Allen on Kickstarter. It is a Star Wars themed jazz album. I'm going to be playing excerpts from it throughout the entire show. Please do me a favor and go ahead and @reply Keys with Soul, KEYSWITHSOUL, and let Andrew Allen know that you're really digging what he's doing. And if you back this Kickstarter, that you back this Kickstarter because you were listening on the Justin Robert Young podcast. I will be right back. Man, that shit's so awesome. I love the Andrew Allen Trio. I love all their albums, man. I'll tell you, I would always play more of it here on this show if it weren't for the fact that that Scott always plays it on the morning stream, you know? Like now I don't want to be biting, I don't want to be scooping their heat. Let's talk about Marco Rubio for a second. I don't have the politics sounder. I got to get another one. So politics. Yes. Marco Rubio. What do we know about Marco Rubio? Not a whole fuck of a lot. In terms of a national presence, he ain't really got a whole lot of it. He tends to be a bit of an affable fellow. I think he's probably got more of a relatable shtick than some of the other people that are running for president. He seems a little less like a lizard. Now, that does not make him a lizard. That makes him a lizard that is palatable to human eyes. So, what is Marco Rubio's deal? He's a senator from Florida. He only really got elected, I think, 8 years ago, maybe 12. He has been oft mentioned as somebody with national ambitions, with presidential ambitions. And why is that? Number one, he's not bad looking on politician standards. Like, he's not a dude that you're gonna walk up on and be like, oh my God, what a handsome guy he is. But he's also not a gargoyle, right? He's got a bit of a square jaw. He's got an odd hairline, and his face is unnaturally round. But that's not the point. He's really hot shit amongst people who measure how hot shit is, because he's a young, and I'm counting these out if you're just listening. He is young. He is conservative. He is Tea Party friendly. And now conservative and Tea Party friendly are two different things. He is of Cuban descent, which is the most conservative friendly of all the Hispanic varieties. And you ain't got to be a regular viewer of Sabado Gigante to know it. And he is credible in Florida because that's where he got elected. Florida, in general, has become less of a relevant swing state over the past two elections because Republicans have not been able to make it competitive. So therefore, Ohio has become kind of the do or die state over the last two presidential elections. But if you were going to win the presidency, you kind of got to win Florida if you are a conservative. So having strength there is that. He's been a fairly popular senator in Florida as far as anybody's a popular fucking anything if they step foot in the Senate. So that's what he's got going for him. What does he have going against him? He doesn't really stand for a whole lot. He ain't really got a gigantic issue. He was on a progressive side of immigration and then has kind of walked that back. He doesn't really have a lot of big defining national moments like Barack Obama did when he like rocked that one speech back that one time. And then like 4 years later ran for president and everyone's like, oh shit, I remember that one dude. He made that speech. He ain't got that. There ain't no speech from Marco Rubio. In fact, one of his few national moments was when he got so fucking nervous on national television, he had to duck off camera to drink some water. Not a good look, Marco. So I know what you're saying. Justin, how are you going to help this guy? You've already helped Mike Pence. You've already helped Ted Cruz. You've already helped son of Rand Paul. You've already helped Hillary Clinton. How are you going to help this young fellow, Marco Rubio? Well, here's what Marco Rubio does have going for him. He likes rap music. Oh, rap music. Barack Obama doesn't like rap music. Barack Obama has never said, man, you ever remember listening to that Tupac album? Shit, that was awesome. Marco Rubio has said, hey, y'all remember that Tupac album? That S was dope. Like, he ain't going to come out here and say shit. But he has talked about liking Tupac. He seems to have a bit of a handle on popular music. So here's what you do. Now, this here Republican field, it's going to be crowded. It's going to be a viper pit. When they first start doing those debates, there are going to be 19 podiums on stage. You're going to have to stand out, Marco. You're going to have to be the one that everyone says, ooh, look at the hot motherfucker in the corner. I want to pay attention to him instead of all these other assholes who are talking about how high of a wall they're going to build. Now, you ain't going to do it with policy. You got to do it with sizzle. You got to do it with a little bit of pizzazz. So I'm saying you make this rap thing work for you. You're in the middle of a debate. Jeb Bush is talking about some shit. He's stealing your thunder. He wants to come out on the left of immigration like you wanted to come out of the left of immigration, except for he has more of a brand value and the money of the conservative elite. So you just go, oh, wait. Hey, Jeb. I got an idea. What do you say we clear out these other motherfuckers real quick and we do a battle rap? And then Jeb Bush is like, well, I don't know. I'm not really into battle rapping. You start beatboxing. In fact, bring out another beatboxer. That motherfucker starts beatboxing next to you. He starts doing the Fat Boys thing. Next thing you know, you start dropping fucking hot fire. And at first, everybody in the audience is kind of like, oh, they're clutching their pearls. They don't know what the fuck is going on. But all they see up there is that one guy from 8 Mile. They don't even know Eminem's name. Just fucking let it go. They're like, oh, wait, I think I remember that movie. You start fucking busting out all these fucking hot fire rhymes and you're dropping them right on Jeb's ass. And Jeb is just like, fucking like, oh, I don't know. And then you're like, and that's why I deserve your vote, totes. And then you fucking literally drop the mic. You kick over the fucking stand and you just walk out. Oh, shit. Now, all of a sudden, Marco Rubio is on the field. So you get to the next debate. Except this time, they fucking know it. Jeb's dropped out of the race. He just got pants on national television, losing a fucking battle rap. And as we know, you are fucking totally asked to leave the presidential race if you lose a battle rap. So the next debate, Rand Paul steps up. And he's like fucking busting some corny ass rhymes. My name's Rand Paul, and I'm here to say that I like the gold standard in a major way. Huh. Fucking you light his ass on fire. Boom. Hot fire raps. Next thing you know, you have other people coming in, and you have famous beatboxer. You got Rozelle up in there, beatboxing your shit, and you're fucking totally doing it. Now, I know what you're saying. You don't really freestyle rap. These fucking magoats ain't gonna fucking rap back at you. You write up some rhymes and you act like you're making them up. It's show business, Junior. Why don't you get with the program? So there we go. Battle rap. Pre-written battle raps. That's going to put Marco Rubio on the map. And that is the Justin Robert Young guarantee to your candidacy. We will be right back with so much more coming up right after this. All right, we are going, we're going to break down this here song. But before I do, I want to let you guys know that I trimmed my beard. I had this really wild beard, and I wanted to take this moment to let y'all know why I did it. Because I wanted to, and there's no other fucking reason. If you're like, oh my God, but JuRY, I love the beard. The beard was crazy. The beard looked great. Don't worry. Like, what a lot of people don't fucking realize is that, like, I grow hair like Teen Wolf. It's so fast. It's so fucking insane. Like, there's no faster process than me growing hair on my face. So I'm gonna have another gigantic beard. Like, that's just going to happen. And when I do, I hope everybody enjoys it, because it'll be ridiculous. It'll be fun. All things must come and go, like the waxing and waning of the moon. So if you like it, then it'll be back. If you didn't like the beard and you like my close cropped Al Jazeera remake of Mad Men kind of look, then congratulations. Now is your time. Let's take a listen to one of my favorite songs of all time. By the way, this one might get us pulled off YouTube or not. I don't know. If it does, then we'll just have to deal with it. Here we go. Jeez. Now this is gonna be stupid. This is what happens on road shows, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't have all my shit together, and I gotta fill time while I open up various different windows. I'll bet you. Oh, here we go.
I'm a nice man. Yeah, I'm a nice man. Yeah.
Okay. If you have jumped up in your seat, then that is because you recognize this theme song. It is the Billy Gunn Ass Man entrance music. If you are a fan of wrestling in the 90s, familiar with Billy Gunn, aka Mr. Ass. Billy Gunn is a exceptional wrestler. He was somebody that in the WWF was looked at as a possible main event player. He's got an insane physique. Dude still has an insane physique, actually, because he's a trainer now at NXT, and they wrestle periodically. But he never really had, despite a ton of in-ring talent, the extra little it. They'd always give him good gimmicks, but he always wound up fitting better in tag teams because he needed kind of somebody to talk more for him. He wasn't without charisma. He had a lot of in-ring charisma. He just didn't have the extra little bit to make him stand out in an especially star-studded era for wrestling in the late 90s. So, at some point, he gets this gimmick where he becomes Mr. Ass. He teams up with a guy named the Road Dogg. Now, they got their own exceptional theme music, but whenever he comes out, this is the song that plays, and we're going to start it from the beginning.
I'm a nice man. Yeah, I'm a nice man.
Now, I'm not going to look at the lyrics to this. I'm sure there are lyrics, and I'm sure that they explain whether or not I'm going to make a mistake of what I hear. But I'm pretty sure this beginning is, I'm a man's man. Yeah, I'm an ass man. It's either that or I'm an ass man. Yeah, I'm an ass man. Really doesn't matter. All we know is that narratively we have set up that he is announcing himself. Imagine him kicking in the door of your home and saying, I'm an ass man. Okay.
I love to kick 'em. I love to shove 'em. I love to stick 'em.
Okay. I love to drop them. I love to kick them. I love to shove them. I love to stick them. If what you were thinking right now is that this carries a very homoerotic overtone, buckle up.
Love to flaunt 'em. I love to watch 'em. I love to pick 'em. And I'm gonna kick 'em.
I love to flaunt them. I love to kick them. I love to pick them. And wait, hold on. Let's.
I love to watch 'em.
Watch it.
I love to pick 'em. And I'm gonna kick 'em.
Okay. Here's the problem inherently with this song is I think it has this very Van Halen kind of aspiration that it is like very macho while remaining androgynous, right? This was like kind of the whole David Lee Roth thing was like, maybe I'm a girl, but I also get so much pussy. It's ridiculous. That's kind of like the whole hair metal element. So it has this problem wherein I think it is either doing one of two things. It is either trying to seamlessly describe all the types of asses for which he has relationships with. So flaunt him, his ass, watch him, lady ass, right? Kick him. The violence is he is establishing his dominance. So he is going to beat your ass, right? In the vernacular, being just to like beat you up, not necessarily like punch your butt so hard it bruises. That would have been a great gimmick if he was just like, I'm going to punch your butt. All I do is beat up butts, your face, torso, arms, legs, whatever. I'm just here for the butt, brother. So it's either doing that where he's like just this bizarre caricature of like a Venice Beach bum hooligan who's like, yeah, I get in bar fights and also like pulls down his here we go. I have my glasses here. He's like hanging out on the beach and then like pulling down his glasses to take a look at some bikini clad butt as it prances down the sands. Or it's the most homoerotic thing ever. And it's like the same asses that he's talking about kicking, he's also talking about watching and sticking, right? And I'm, sticking, I assume meaning penetrating, like that this is like a really weird gay physical dominance fetish song?
So many asses, so little time.
All right. So we come out of the chorus. So many asses, so little time.
A little tight one can stop me on a dime.
Now we've switched back to the lecherous sexual element of the asses. A little tight one can stop me on a dime with a little Seeger fucking at the end, which I love so much. A little tight one can stop me on a dime.
I'm a lover of every kind. The best surprises always sneak up from behind.
So he's a lover of every kind, which, if we have not stretched this metaphor to the point of uselessness by this point, this does it. This, it's like, no, I am an omnisexual person for which will beat and fuck all asses. There is no ass that I will not both beat and fuck, because you can't be threatening to beat everybody's ass and then say I'm a lover of every kind of ass, right? Isn't this just the absolute declaration of pansexuality? And then this line, which deserves to be played again.
Me on a dime. I'm a lover of every kind. The best surprises always sneak up from behind. I'm a nerd.
The best surprises always sneak up from behind. The best. I mean. On a scale from 1 to even, I just can't right now. Credit Broseph Joe Brody. I am fucking floored that this exists. This is one of my favorite things of all. And again, in a hyper sexualized time in professional wrestling, this was sung by young and old alike. Entire stadiums, WrestleManias, the air would be filled with people singing these lyrics. The best surprises always sneak up from behind. What can that possibly mean? That you're going to find a treasure in your own butt? That you enjoy getting butt fucked by surprise? Who knows?
Behind me, I feel a heat. That's why the feels don't walk behind me down the street. I'm a bad man.
Oh my God. So then we just go into butt puns. Buns of glory, buns of steel. Now we are beyond even the sexualization or violence nature of the butt. We are into a deification of butts in general. This is like one of those bizarre societies that we dig up and find out they worshiped cats, right? This would be the anthem of a society for which worshiped butts on a level that we, in our modern times, find uncomfortable or weird. It is at this point that I must also remind you that most wrestling themes are not full songs. They are usually maybe a verse, likely a chorus, if there are any words at all, that then just kind of loop, or a verse, a chorus, instrumental, back to chorus. It is very rare that a song goes on for the entire time in a way that you would hear on the radio. Now, this was at a point where the WWF was selling soundtracks, so maybe there was more of an incentive to make them actual songs. But at this point in our breakdown, we are 1 minute and 52 seconds into this song. This is already the length of an average song that you would hear on the radio.
I love to love them. I love to kick them. I love to shove them. I love to stick them. I love to float them. I love to watch them. I love to pick them. And I'm gonna kick them.
I feel like this is the point in which the robot for which is singing this song completely loses any sentience, and it just starts yelling things. It's just like I love it. I love it. I love butts. I love every element of butts. Oh my God, it is just so good. It is so amazing. I am too. I'm an ass man. We'll be right back. If you would like to email the show, it is justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Put JURY in the subject line. First emails from Shiftlock. I've seen the future when nobody's around. President Hillary Rodham Clinton will be sticking cigars in her old cunt in the Oval Office and telling herself she won. After a lot of effort, she will manage to squirt for the first time in her life onto the Oval Office floor. So I ask you, isn't it about time we had a MILF for president? Ladies and gentlemen, these are the emails we receive. The next one comes in from Beth. All right. Beth writes an embarrassing story. The embarrassing story is this. I got into a car accident. When I came over, I was in a lot of pain. He, being my boyfriend, being sweet, just wanted to take care of me and massage my back with some Sombra, a pain-relieving gel. Think of a less intense version of Icy Hot. Since then, we've run out for something and have been laying down for a while and totally spaced on the fact that he hasn't washed his hands. So I'm lying there. Edging so I guess he starts fingering her. I'm lying there edging closer and closer to orgasm when all of a sudden tingling, and not the good tingling ever, then burning. I felt like I was on fire. I asked if he had washed his hands and he just froze, realizing that he hadn't. I dismissed myself, went to the bathroom, and spent a little bit of time trying to get everything off. I was super polite about it, and he was really upset with himself. But once he was sure I was okay, around the time I started making fun of him for saying that he was okay. Oh, wait, hold on. No, he started calming down when the writer of this email started threatening him that she was going to write this very story into this very podcast that they both listened to, which is really, really, really funny because I had asked for awkward sex stories from ladies. He ended up apologizing over and over and going down on me, and things did end well after a lot of initial pain and reading the warning label. I know that the only reason this happened was because he had been taking care of me earlier because he cares so much, and that it was a complete accident, but I couldn't help but email in just to hear his reaction when he hears this story on his way to school. Thanks for reading this. Love the show. Icy hot in the vagina. Oh my God. Listen, man, we have great awkward sex stories from the ladies. I need for this to keep going. This is something that delights me to no end. This is for the ladies out there. Please continue to write in with your awkward sex stories. And we could not say the term awkward sex stories without getting another tale from Alundra. Of course, Alundra is the person that wrote in about 1 million of these. So I'm going to be reading one per week. For a while, she writes, I was doing a lot of store setups for work. They pay for your hotel, and you live in a different city for 7 weeks. In Columbus, my roommate was completely intolerable and just did this thing where she talked and talked and talked and talked. Oh, wait, hold on. I lost this email. Here we go. Here's the thing where she talked and talked and talked. So I went to the bar every night. The bar was right in the middle of a hotel circle full of lonely travelers. My usual bartender liked to run up the tab for these travelers as high as possible because bigger bills meant bigger tips for him. I'm cheap as hell, so it didn't work on me. And instead, he just convinced whatever guy was next to me to buy me drinks. The results, one night I joined a random wedding party. Because there was some interesting guy who walked in and was playing the ukulele half the time. Cut to the end of the night. We had sex. Another night, a guy who managed one of the hotels snuck me into one of the rooms that he knew was unoccupied because it was being renovated. There wasn't even a bed. It was just paint and plastic and pieces of wood. And yet another day, I got back from work and there was a message on my hotel phone that was something along the lines of, quote, last night didn't end too well. I want to make it up to you. I want to buy you a drink, followed by his hotel and room number. Some nights I hung out with the hotel front desk guy. He was super cool and a fan of the NSFW show. Good taste. And he filled me in, and he filled me in a little. Oh, wait, is that like a sex thing? Anyhow, apparently the guy had come into the hotel with me the night before. Oh, this is about the guy who said that things didn't end well. He had come in the night before and left shortly after, very shortly. My assumption is that he tried to pull the whole, I just want to walk you to your room thing. And when we got to my room, I got him to get him to leave. I had to cuss him out because that happened quite a few times while I was there. So he decided he wanted to try again and start by buying me a drink. Fuck that guy. He was an old fuck, and that talked obsessively about his gains, quote unquote. I didn't take him up on his offer and never saw him again. Also, the front desk guy would point out that he thought who he thought were hookers and taught me how to identify them. And then we would watch them leave an hour later. And that is another tale from Alundra. And finally, John writes in. So last week I was in a co-ed small group through my church, and the group was discussing about contentment and things that we were working on being more content about. One of the girls on the couch across the room started talking about their contentness and their current singledom. And then a couple of other girls chimed in about the same thing. This line of conversation continued for about 2 to 3 minutes. But wait for it. This is where the missed or at least jumbled signals come in. I didn't notice until after we were moving on to another topic that I am the only single guy in the room. All the other guys in the room were spoken for. I spent the rest of the night trying to go over what was said to see if they were just venting or trying to drop a hint. I've never had a serious relationship, but I'm feeling ready to give it a go, was a quote. Another quote. It's almost like I just want to approach random people and tell them, please date me, but that would never work out well. Or yet another quote, it will probably be when you least expect it. You never know who it'll be. The group ended. We all walked to our cars and went home. So what do you think, JuRY? Was I dense? And if so, how would you recommend I approach a situation? I'm still not sure if they were trying to drop a hint or not. I don't know them too well yet. So they all kind of arrive and leave together as soon as the group discussion is over. I'm not sure how to tackle it. That is John. John, stop being a fucking idiot. All right. The point of that talk was their singledom. That means two things. If you're a good person, you'll respect their singledom if that's what they're talking about. The second point is if you like one of them or one of them catches your fancy or attention, you be a human and you say, hey, can I get your Facebook? I'd like to chat. You seem like a nice person. Could you go get coffee with me at some point? Maybe we can go before the co-ed group circle. You're single. They're single. Now, respect their contentedness in their singledom. You want to know why? Not just because you want to respect what they've said, because they're human beings and they deserve just that much, but rather you want to date girls who are okay being single. This is very very, very crucial. And if you take nothing else from this, the Justin Robert Young Show, please understand that girls who understand how to be single, that are content within themselves, will be better when they are in a relationship. This goes for guys too, but for whatever reason, there's more social pressure on women to constantly be in a relationship. Let them be them. Now, if you are in the middle of letting them be them, and at some point you guys become us, all the better.
What do you say we both just leave?
But if you find yourself battle rapping on the stage with the Republican primary, if you find yourself debating whether or not you like to take a point, well, if you are launching a brand new version of the street, or if you are trying to mac on chicks at a co-ed church discussion, well, I want you to think in your heart of hearts, and I want you to remember that there's just a little spirited, scruffy boy asking politely to please don't go.
Do you like the way you're dressed up? Do you like how your hair gets cut?
Of course, if you like the show, go ahead and head on to our Patreon, patreon.com/JuRY. If you would like to find the show, you can do so on Stitcher or iTunes or anywhere else that you find your favorite podcast. Also, go ahead and rate, review, and subscribe. And we're on the YouTube, on the iTunes, on the Stitcher. Something. I love you. TV.
Just shines back at me.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
All right. That is it for the JuRY show. Sorry we had such weird volume problems. It's hard for me to tell, even with my monitor here, exactly how loud shit was. I know Todd Whitehead, the just gem, the sweet ray of God's own sunshine that he is, was trying to alert me in the PMs of the chat room that it was loud, but I can't really see that the way that I had my shit set up. So sorry about that, guys. That's what happens on a road show. Hopefully I will get more into practice on it if I have to do these more. Next week, we will have an early show. If not, we might have a brepisode. I might actually have to go brepisode on this because not only am I going to be on the road again, but also it's a pay-per-view weekend. So I'm going to be watching Extreme Rules live with you on diamondclub.tv. That about wraps it up. So until next time, see you later. Also, Journey is out this week. Ooh. Also, likely problem solvers. Also, maybe we're going to do the show on European time for Night Attack. Who knows? Who knows? Also, I'm going to start emailing interviews because we're getting close to $500 an episode. At $500 an episode, I will do some interviews. All right. See you, buddy.